Burning Ewok has entered the game. The minions of hell grow stronger.
Ah, fresh meat.
Stay a while and listen.
Welcome to episode 23 of the Burning Ewok podcast. I am one of your hosts, Justin Granson, and with me as always,
Chuck Fisher.
Dan Mendra.
Hey guys.
What's going on?
Took a week off. We had a little sickness going on in one of us, and just life happening, right?
Yep.
Yeah, we're back though. We're back and stronger than ever. And what do we got going on?
Feeling much better. You guys didn't watch the series finale of The Simpsons, did you?
I saw some of it, and I know the whole joke behind it and everything. What did you think of it?
I watched it 3 times.
Wow. Okay.
Well, my wife really enjoyed it, so every time like somebody would come over, she was like, "Hey, have you guys seen this?" And then we'd watch it. So yeah, I saw it 3 times. It was like if it had been the series finale, it was perfect. They brought in a whole bunch of old characters. You know, they had awesome like cameos.
Like which old characters? Like the ones that they've killed off?
Well, you see, yeah, for there's a split second where you see some of them, yeah.
Okay.
But no, like Homer's brother shows up and is voiced by Danny DeVito.
Wow.
Yeah, Unky Herb and John Cena's in there for a scene that is so awesome. He delivers comic book guy's baby. Oh, it's just so. It was such a good show. Like my wife and I were like,
wait, is the comic book guy having the baby?
No, his Asian wife is having the baby.
Oh, okay, all right.
But yeah, it was really awesome. It was very, very cool. And it was hosted by Conan O'Brien, which was, I really thought, because I had heard it was the series finale, so I wanted to watch it just in case it really was. I don't think it was, but it would have been perfect.
But wait, wasn't it the season premiere, though?
It was. It's the season premiere.
Season premiere, and they did the season. Okay.
Yeah, like like Tom Hanks is like, wait a minute, this isn't the series finale.
American News, it's not, or it is. So because I'm reading like news articles where it is the series finale. They bid adieu, and then
no, it ends with Conan saying, or Tom Hanks says, so this isn't the season finale, and then Conan's like, no, I guess it's just the season premiere.
Okay,
but
I'll
yeah.
check it. Like Simpsons has been one of those things where I haven't caught live or like an up-to-date episode. Like maybe I've caught 3 in the last 10 years. And it's like, and it's not because I don't like The Simpsons and I'm not like, oh, The Simpsons aren't as good as they used to be. Because when it hits, it still hits really well. The thing is, there's just so much of it out there, and you don't really have to watch it in any order. I've got Disney Plus, and I could just throw a season on, and I just kind of let them run. So I'll just go, I'll any, mini, miny, moe a season. And I'll pick 26 and I'll just let them run.
Yeah, I don't watch it regularly at all, but I just heard that this was happening, so I wanted to check it out. So,
and I think that's probably why I don't like making an event to watch like I used to. It used to be like that and the X-Files back to back every Sunday.
Absolutely.
That's happening,
Absolutely.
X-Files and Simpsons, and then like whatever Millennium or whatever. Was it Millennium? The one with Bishop from Aliens.
Yeah.
That was great. Yeah. And I'd watch those, and Simpsons every week. That was college too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, no, I did not watch it, but I knew about it. I knew like the basic gist of it. So
it was very funny. It was really good.
Nice. So
it would have made a good series finale if it actually had been the series finale.
I wonder when that's going to be. Like, is there any word on how long it's going to go? Or,
I mean, honestly, this is season 36, so I would think now would be the time to end it. But
I don't know.
That's
maybe
just me.
Round numbers are nice. Maybe they want to hit 40. I don't know. I don't know. As long as Fox keeps paying them, they'll keep doing it. I just don't know how much money it still makes. It's not the whatever. I don't understand things.
Yeah. Well, eventually the voice actors are going to die, and then.
Well, they probably have enough words recorded from everybody that's been on the show that they can just generate it, and just like they have with Darth Vader, because they did record James Earl Jones. Apparently, we had that discussion a few weeks ago after he died. Apparently, it sounds like they did record him. So they'll have Darth Vader forever. Anyway. So we got to catch up on a couple weeks. So there were a couple shows that we've been keeping up with on this very podcast of ours, and one of which was Murder in the Building. Only Murders in the Building.
Only Murders.
Only Murders. We had 2 episodes in a row. Dan, I know we didn't record last week, but I know last week's episode you said you were let down, but then this week's episode you thought was awesome.
It was great, man.
I like both. But I want to get your vibe on what you didn't like about the episode before, which I thought was a really neat change of pace with the hidden cameras and the brothers sisters directing and all that. I thought that was fun.
I mean, I don't think it was bad. It just didn't like the last few episodes haven't really just captured me and said, boom, this is great, and can't wait for the next episode, kind of a deal. But this one, I thought did a lot better job.
It was certainly funnier.
Yeah, I mean, Melissa McCarthy.
I forgot how funny she was because I haven't seen her in anything in a while, and I forgot how funny she could be.
She is amazing.
She's amazing in the episode. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, no, she's great. Just how everybody just all of a sudden starts showing up at their secret hideout.
Yeah, their hideout.
Well done, well played. I love the fact that the actors are better at it than they are.
Yeah.
So I thought, just the way they pulled it all together in that one was really good. So definitely. Probably the best of the episodes and maybe of the season. I think this one, or at least my favorite so far. I know you guys really liked the stunt bar one.
I loved it.
Oh, that was a great episode.
But that one didn't really grab me either.
See, I think I really clinged on to the whole Zaz and Steve Martin relationship. I forget his name all of a sudden. Charles and Zaz's relationship, and I really like that part of the season. But yeah, like I said, this episode was very funny. And,
yes, extremely.
And I guess we kind of figured out who is kind of guilty now, and we're going to be kind of hurtling towards the end, or are we?
Yeah, exactly. You never know with this show.
Yeah. It's always a twist, right?
Yeah, I love how they filled the plot holes from the first season, though.
Oh, that was great.
So genius.
Yeah, with the poison dog and the letters that were that was something
so good.
I forgot about some of that stuff,
Yeah, totally.
But
which makes you wonder, were they smart enough to do that?
No,
or did it just happen?
No way, because they didn't even know they'd be getting this far along. They've been renewing after every season, not sure if they're gonna. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Which I think is great. I think that's.
It was probably like somebody on Reddit would pointing out, what was this, and they're like, we got to address this at some point.
Yeah,
that's exactly what happened. Well, hey, so
go ahead.
I was going to transition to Agatha. What do you guys think of Agatha?
It was good, man. It was good. I enjoyed it.
I freaking love it. I absolutely, and it's I love it because it's this last episode where they did the brooms.
Oh yeah,
it was this is so perfect. In that's that third episode where they're doing the brew in the cauldron, which is just a kitchen sink, and they're hitting all these witch tropes so perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
They throw a little bit of terror and grotesqueness into it, but it's still very funny. I think Catherine Hahn is just killing it.
Oh man,
Absolutely killing it. And watching Aubrey Plaza just laugh about everything and just be perfect. It's really good. It sounds like I guess I did predict who Teen was, so I think we got that now at least. He's gone full Wiccan as
So who is he?
he's Scarlet Witch's kid. He's the wizard one. Wiccan. He's Billy Maximoff.
I don't think. Oh, Scarlet Witch's kid.
Yeah, Wanda's child. Yeah.
So
interesting.
Oh yeah,
so
and he goes full on. I think he's go ahead.
So I mean, it's like this is part of what I hate about Marvel, right? Is like how the fuck am I supposed to remember that? Like how am I supposed to make that connection?
Well, two things. First of all, you don't have to. You just right now know that he's kind of taken over at this point, and it'll probably get revealed more instead of that. Or if you just remembered WandaVision, you could probably make that connection.
Yeah, man, I don't know.
So I'll give you that. Yeah, when you go 3-4 seasons between or years between a show, that connects directly to it. But I mean, I guess sequels to movies do the same thing. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It doesn't make or break the show though, whether or not you know that right now. That's something I know, but it didn't ruin your enjoyment of it until I mentioned it right there.
Well, you got me wondering because Agatha said something. You're just like your mother.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know.
I thought it was pretty obvious at that point.
I didn't catch it either. I was like, I didn't know.
Okay, it's not official. I mean, they didn't officially say it. I just thought it was an obvious. So I think next week we'll know. Next week, I think it'll be very clear that that's who it's going to be, and they'll probably explain it, for the people that don't remember the episode. I am making a leap. I think it's pretty logical, but we'll see next week.
I thought it was really cool the way Agatha was like, "Are you sure about that?" Like how she was like, she didn't necessarily mean to steal the power from the one. What was her name?
Alice.
Yeah, Alice.
Took Alice's power and killed her, yeah.
But then, I don't know, then she kind of, when she was kind of talking to Teen, and she was like, are you sure about that? Because he didn't want to sacrifice people for power.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was very evil of her and just revealed her character.
Well, I think she kind of gets reinforced because the other witches are like, shit happens. That's just.
Well, they're in it for the power too.
Yeah. Yeah. When it comes down to it, at the end of the day, any single one of them will sacrifice the rest of them to get what they came for. So I mean, they said last time they went down the road, only 2 survived. My guess that when Agatha went down it, she said only 2 survived. It's my guess is it's what's her name? Io? Aubrey Plaza's character?
Oh.
Yes, something like that.
You think it is because I don't know.
Io? Yeah, it's. Yeah. I think I don't know. Again, I'm taking a leap. I'm guessing it's her because they had the history together, and I'm guessing that's where she sacrificed her son.
Rio.
I'm sorry, Rio. That's it, Rio.
Yeah. Maybe I got this all wrong, but it almost kind of sounded like Rio had, made it sound like she never had gone
down the road.
Yep.
And that's probably, well, I mean, if that's the case, I'm guessing that she's not even a witch then, and she's death.
Oh.
Because they've had a lot of sort of. And this is me again, just throwing it out there, because this is the other thing I thought it could possibly be, because they had the imagery of death a few episodes ago when they went in the first house where Mrs. Hart died, and then when they were in the next house, this last episode, there was the talk of death coming for them, and I think it actually spelled it out on the Ouija board, didn't it? Like death is coming and it's here to punish. And then when the ghost of her mother showed up, that's not exactly death, but the whole time laughing was Rio. And Rio did not show up at the end of the episode, if you noticed.
I know. Where did she
So
go?
where is she in this, and like what happens there? So the cool twist would be if like if she's death, or that'll piss a ton of people off if that's the case. I think it'd be fun if they did that, because death is supposed to be celestial. That's why. And then people, oh, what are they doing? Disney's, but whatever. Like,
have you guys heard any? Have you guys heard or seen anything about ratings? Like how many people are watching this show?
Well, I know it's the cheapest show. Like, I don't care about how much this stuff costs to make, but I know it's their cheapest show by a huge margin, and much less than Echo. Echo previously was their cheapest show, and I think that was 40 million, and they said this was significantly less.
Well, this show is great. I love this show. I don't know.
And so,
it's well written. Acting's incredible.
People seem to like it. So,
so I'd heard it wasn't doing as well as they had hoped.
It's probably not, but if it doesn't cost that much and they don't lose subscribers, they're not going to care.
Yeah.
You know? So I mean, if it's probably cheaper than a lot of the other shows they got going on.
Yeah, I was talking to Renee about it. I was like, my wife. I was like, hey, do you think that maybe it's because, WandaVision was so long ago, and Agatha is kind of, she's not like a major character that I think the majority of people would like. Yeah, I want to know what her story is. I still think it's freaking fascinating, though.
I think that stuff will come out. That stuff usually comes out after the show airs. So, and there's 9 episodes, and we've done 5, so we got 4 more left. Cool. So they'll probably.
That's good.
That's right. Yeah. So it's nice. So it's like a slow burn on this one. Yeah. I do like having like the extended shows, like the ones that have a few extra episodes, like Andor having 12 or this having 9. I think that's I like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But
yeah, so there's 9 episodes. It's a weird number, 9.
It is weird. But I think it's because it matches up with Halloween.
Well, they're going to release 8.
I guess
they release 8 and 9 at the same time.
That's right. That's right. They do put them both out on the last day. Yeah, I guess it doesn't matter about. They could release it to match up with Halloween if it was 3 episodes. It doesn't matter. I suppose.
Yeah, they could.
Yeah, but yeah, it's fun. My son Ian and I are watching it. My wife kind of fell off of it. She just thought it was okay after the 2nd episode. And we just kept going. Like, oh, we're watching. I'm watching it for the podcast, so there you go. But she may want to rewatch it with me later. But we started. Oh, I'm not going to go on anything else yet. We'll keep on this. Keep on this. What else we got on it?
On Agatha?
Yeah.
So do you think the witches that die on the road are actually dead?
I don't think anybody's dead. Like, I think Mrs. Hart can come back still. And I thought, well, she did come back as when they were using the Ouija board. So she came back there for like.
Did she, or was that Agatha just screwing around? Because I thought that was her faking it.
I don't know.
That's a good question. It was her faking it. Yeah.
It could be. I don't know. I just figured that she was like in the spirit realm or whatever. I mean, I don't think anybody really like. I think Alice could still come back. I don't. Yeah, like it just whatever the story needs is what's going to happen. As long as they can explain it away, okay. I think if they leave them dead, I think that leaves it more, gives a little bit of emotional impact to what's going on, and that raises the stakes for the rest of the characters. So, it depends on how it's executed, but I don't think that anything's possible. So. Okay. I mean, and also the question is like, if it is Wiccan, Billy Maximoff, where's his brother? Because there were 2 kids. There were 2 kids. See, my original thought was that it was going to be, whatever Scratch, the son of Nicholas Scratch, and a combination of Billy Maximoff, like somehow like spiritually connected. Somehow. That's what I thought it was originally going to be, but it doesn't seem to be that way. Anyway, we'll see. Next week, I think we'll get all the answers on that one for sure. So tune in next week. We'll talk about if I'm right or not. Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of all I had on it. but I will tell you a show I have been watching. And I don't know if I talked about it on the podcast yet, but I've been watching Fargo. Did I talk about that a couple weeks ago?
No, you haven't.
You mentioned it at the end of the last episode.
Okay, so I have one more episode left of the first season. It's phenomenal. It is so dark and so violent and so over the top ridiculous, just like the movie Fargo. And what blew my mind, I just thought it was like a standalone series where it's got like, I don't know how many seasons there are. I think there's at least 3 or 4, and each one's its own self-contained story. But I didn't realize it's a direct sequel to the movie. It actually connects in with the original movie with Steve Buscemi in it. Yes, in a very significant way.
Okay.
So, which you find out about in like episode 3 or 4. So the whole thing's streaming on Hulu. And if you guys are looking for something, or if anybody out there is just like looking for a new show and you have not watched Fargo, you like the dark comedy, it's black comedy. It is really, really dark, and this is great. It's phenomenal, and the cast is off the charts. So I mean, it's got Billy Bob Thornton as like the psychopath. Martin Freeman is kind of your weasel character that gets himself into trouble. Um, Oliver Platt is in it. Tom Hanks' son, which is terrible. Like, call him Tom. Oh yeah, who is that? Oh, it's Tom Hanks' son. You don't even say his name. Just Tom Hanks' son. But
Nice.
Colin Hanks. There, I'll give him some props. So Colin Hanks is in it, and there's like a few, like Bob Odenkirk plays a pretty significant role. It's the cast is amazing. I know each season there's a huge cast of characters that come on, so just for that, you could tell like some of the characters are just like, I just want to go on the show and get murdered. Oh yeah, like Jason Schwartzman.
Really?
Yeah, he's in it. Yeah, it's crazy. Like it's really like not actors I would think you'd put together in a show. And I mean, this show's got to be at least 10 years old, maybe more. And
I don't think it's that old, is it?
It might
really?
Like the first season might be that old. Yeah, man.
Wow.
I'm gonna keep saying it. Time's a circle. I can't fathom like what. Okay, so it was 2014.
Yeah, and 5 seasons.
It's 5 seasons.
Okay. Holy crap, dude! That is years ago.
Last season just came out last year.
Oh, did it? Okay.
There was like a break and then COVID.
Okay.
So there's a 2-year break between season 2 and 3, and a 3-year break between season 3 and 4, and then a 3.5-year break between season 4 and season.
So it has been going on for a while then. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's the beauty of cable, or streaming services. You can do that.
Right. So let me just read off. Here's the cast highlights from the 5 seasons. All right.
All right.
This favorite group of people. So season 1, you already mentioned most of them, but Martin Freeman, Colin Hanks, Allison Tolman, Billy Bob Thornton. All right. Season 2, Kirsten Dunst, Patrick Wilson, Jesse Plemons, Gene Smart, and Ted Danson.
Wow.
Wow, that is pretty cool.
Yeah, season 3, Ewan McGregor, Carrie Coon, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, Goran Bogdan, and David Thewlis. I don't know who that is. Season 4, Chris Rock, Jason Schwartzman, Jesse Buckley, a couple other people I don't know. And then season 5, Juno Temple, Jennifer Jason Leigh, Joe Keery from Stranger Things. Man, it goes on. John Hamm. Man, the cast list for season 5 is like 3 times as long as the rest of them.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's pretty freaking good, guys. It's like, and I heard it was good, and I was excited to get Hulu to watch it, but it was like kind of like 3rd or 4th or 5th. I'm like, oh, I want to watch What We Do in the Shadows and Murders in the Building and those things first. But yeah, I kind of fell into this one and fell hard in it. So it's you'll hear me talking about it over the next few weeks without spoiling it, because there's like I like, for whatever reason, and I don't know why, and I know why. Like I know why they don't do a Survivor in the cold, because you want to see scantily clad people. That's why they don't do those types of things. But damn, if like cold blizzard weather isn't the most terrifying, when done well. And I'm
Yeah.
like talking like, I mean, think about it. Like Hoth is like the coolest stuff in Star Wars. It's really cool. But then like let's go like something like more terrifying, like on Earth. Like The Thing takes place in Antarctica on this like isolated place in Antarctica, just isolated in the cold. And the original Fargo, of course, is up there in
the new True
Minnesota.
Detective, right?
Yeah,
the new
but I mean, they've got a scene in this show where the storm is coming, the storm is coming, the storm is coming, the storm hits. It's absolute whiteout conditions, and it just throws everything crazy. And just like some of the suspenseful scenes in it are amazing because of it. It just like I just wish more would use. Maybe it's expensive. I don't know, but it's cool. And
well, the actors don't want to go to the North Pole and film. You know what I mean?
True.
It's cold.
True.
It's cold and it sucks.
All right. I
gotta ask you. Well, okay, go ahead. What?
Did you know? All right, since I looked this up and I found this here, that this isn't the first Fargo show. They made a pilot in 1997 after the movie hit.
After the movie, okay.
Starring Edie Falco and directed by Kathy Bates. And it got shelved, and then it was aired like 7 years later on there's some like show called Brilliant But Canceled, where they just showed the pilots of canceled TV shows.
Oh, that's cool.
But it's got to be out there on YouTube, so I'm gonna have to go find it and watch it.
Now I want to see it too. That's really interesting.
There's a podcast called The Dead Pilot Society.
Is it really?
Yeah, and they have like table reads of dead pilots that didn't make it.
Huh.
But anyway, I don't know, you guys. I watched the movie Fargo, and man, I'll tell you what. Fargo, and then what's the other one? What was Tarantino's first film that he made?
Reservoir Dogs.
Reservoir Dogs. Okay. And Pulp Fiction, for that matter. I didn't see any humor in those movies. I was just like appalled the whole time I watched them. It's like, oh my god, that guy just got shot in the head.
Oh my god. The whole movie, Marge and her husband and Fargo are just fucking hilarious. And just like when she's interviewing the two girls that meet up with the guys in the hotel, like the funny looking fella.
Yeah.
Just, I
mean, yeah, okay, so. But still, I thought the movie was so dark. It was too dark for me.
I did say dark. I mean, it is a
I
movie.
know.
So it is a movie where they put somebody in a wood chipper.
Yeah.
And it's funny, but it's done in a funny way where he's just kind of got the foot and he's kind of beating it down with the log and not thinking anything of it. It's very over the top. I remember there's a scene where they shoot where the psycho pulls the cop into the car and shoots him in the top of the head, and that fountain of blood that comes out of the top of his skull all over Steve Buscemi, and then they drive off.
Yeah. Just like, freaking nightmares of that.
Yeah.
I have nightmares from that scene, dude. Come on. And then those poor people were like running in the snow. Oh god.
Oh, there's a lot of that.
Horrible.
Oh, it's good. The show's
it's
so
just
good.
Horrible.
I gotta watch Fargo again. I don't know. The Coens are my favorite filmmakers. And they're like the producers on the show, and I'm wondering if they also did the production on that pilot. I want to find out more about it and see if it's like a similar storyline, like taking it in that same direction, because it very well could. If Edie Falco plays the cop, one of the cops at least, but oh man, yeah, Coen's my absolute favorites. Just good on the list of their movies, so.
Great movie, man. Love Fargo.
Something must be wrong with me because
maybe you have a soul and we don't. Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know, man. I felt so bad for that police officer. I'm like, we have a family at home. Just like, I don't know. I don't know, man. I feel shit like that too, like more, I think, in film than most people. I don't know. I
mean, there's like some of the characters in Fargo are just like you feel like so much pity for them, like William H. Macy's character.
He's so pathetic.
He's so
pathetic.
Dumbest.
Yeah, in characters like that are so what's that Adam Sandler movie about the diamonds? It just
Righteous
came out.
Gems.
Righteous Gems. Is it Righteous
Righteous
Gems?
Gemstones.
No,
that's a
that's
TV
the
show.
Oh no,
TV
that's
show.
the televangelist
Uncut
show.
Gems. Uncut Gems.
Yes,
Right,
Uncut Gems.
where he can do no right, and that's that kind of character where you just like, this is hard to stop watching, but hard to watch the whole movie anyways, because he always makes the wrong decision, always does the wrong thing, and always fucks it up, right? And William H. Macy's character is that character in that show.
It's basically Death of a Salesman. You know, the character is just so horrible.
Yeah,
He's
Willie Loman is super pathetic and just like, and like he's just, everybody runs roughshod over him, and but and I guess like instead of like him going and killing himself in a garage, he goes and tries to commit a crime and cover it up and do it terribly. Like I gotta make like a confession here. Like so, like my entire life, I've had a couple different types of nightmare scenarios. I'm only going to discuss one of them. And when I say nightmares, I'm talking actual when I'm sleeping nightmares. So I have dreams that I commit a crime and I try to cover it up. And it just gets worse and it gets worse and it gets worse. You know, like I got to hide a body or I stole something. And because I stole it, it's just like the lie that it compounds and then it gets bigger and the lie just continues to grow. And like the anxiety that builds from like hiding something. So it's like, as a person, like I don't lie about anything. Like I'll lie about like a gift I'm giving somebody, but I will not lie. I will never lie. Like if I'm playing a board game where I'm supposed to, I'm all in. You know, I'm going to do that. Like when we play Resistance or other things we have to, doesn't count. I'm talking like real true lies, like not telling the truth about something. And to me, it's like that is like the most important part of my character is that I stay true to that. So, and I have these dreams where I'm covering up lies, whether it's a crime I committed or something I said, and it just compounds in these anxiety dreams that I'll have. And this show is like that, where everybody in it has this fault. Not everybody has a fault. You know, there's some that don't. But what I love, and it's the movie Fargo. I mean, that is exactly William H. Macy's character in Fargo, where he goes and has his wife kidnapped, and he's going to know that the father-in-law, who hates him, is going to pay the ransom. And so he builds this and he like creates this setup and then it doesn't go well and now it's getting worse and he's trying to like and like his anxiety builds the same way and a lot of the show is doing the same thing for me also and I just love it. I love these shows where people do something wrong and it gets worse and worse and worse for them until it finally pops, you know. And it pops in very crazy ways in this show, let me tell you. Like unreal. And in something like I always watch, I actually watch it and go, huh, like if this came out today, would people be into it as much as I'm into it right now? I don't know, because it is some of it's really over the top.
So then, did you like True Detective season 2?
I did not watch any True Detective yet. I know.
So that one is very much like that.
Okay, then I definitely have to watch it.
It's your boy too, man. It's
Ryan Gosling.
No, the other one. Colin Firth, not Colin Firth.
Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell, yeah.
I do like Colin Farrell. Oh, and hey, that sounds like a good segue.
Yeah.
What have you been watching, Dan?
Dude, the Penguin is fucking amazing.
Okay. We're gonna do a hard record scratch here. So all of a sudden now we got 2 comic book shows that you're enjoying. After like,
but it's exactly what I said makes a good comic book movie, and it has nothing to do with the fucking comics.
It's the Penguin,
right? It's in
Gotham City.
It's just part of the universe there, and it's really, it's just like it's based off the Batman, right? The movie that came out.
The best Batman movie that's ever come out.
The one I call emo Batman.
The absolute best Batman movie ever.
Yeah, and it's really, God, what was the show? There was a show like on FX about the Penguin, and
Gotham.
Gotham, right? About the Riddler and the Penguin, and that one was very comic booky. this carries the torch of the Batman. It's just a gritty gangster movie, like fucking watching Sopranos. Um, there's no, I mean, there's not much. Like, there's a mention of some of the events that happened at the end of the Batman when they blow up the seawall and flood the.
Yeah, because doesn't he like the thing is Penguin's taking advantage of all this stuff, right? To build
Yeah,
his crime ring and
I
pissing
mean,
everybody else off along the way.
yeah, I mean, it's really about him, but he's really just a fucking gangster. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing special about him. He's not really all that. He's a little smart, but not really all that smart. He's just. I mean, it kind of rings of The Sopranos a little bit. That kind of a story with all of the mob action. It's got the classic Falcons and was it the Maronis the Falcons. And how he kind of plays them off of each other to kind of carve out his empire, right? So, but I mean, it was good. Colin Farrell, like every like 10 minutes, I gotta go, man, that's Colin Farrell.
Yeah, you can't tell, man.
No,
yeah.
I love his Penguin. Love. But again, best Batman movie ever.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, I'm poking at you, Chuck. What's better?
I mean, I can't disagree, but I just feel like, I don't know, you're trying to piss me off, and I just don't know how or why.
This way, I loved all of the original Batman movies that came out in the 90s. Even the bad ones, I loved them. Right? Now they're like the one really bad one. I think it was the one with like Arnold Schwarzenegger and
George Clooney.
It was either Batman and Robin or Batman Forever. I don't know which one it was.
Forever.
Okay.
Yeah, Forever, because it's got like the Riddler. What's his name? Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey. That is rough.
And everybody.
It's a rough film to watch.
That one, but now like it has become like this cult classic now. Like people love it now.
Really?
I would not say I love it. I saw it not too long ago. And I still like it for the reasons that I liked back in the 90s, such as like the tilted camera angle anytime a villain was on the screen. So it took a lot of cues from the 60s Batman, which I love. But I didn't like the Michael Keaton movies when they came out, and I didn't like any of the Joel Schumacher movies. I just never liked them. Ever.
See, I thought they
really?
were. Nah. So like, when I go to see a Batman movie, I'm taking it with a grain of salt, and like the original Batman movies, not the Batman, because it's totally different kind of movie. But it's gonna be kind of fun, goofy, because it's comic book, but not like not graphic novel. It's comic books, and it was like that first real round of goodish comic book movies that came out, man. I love them. I enjoy them all, and I will watch them. If they're on TV, I would sit down and watch them.
That first one with Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson. You don't like that movie, Justin?
It was just okay. I remember seeing it opening weekend and all the hype built around it, and watching it and just going, yeah, I just don't really. I'm bored.
You're not a real big Batman guy, though.
I Nicholson in that movie.
I don't like him as a Joker. I love Michael Keaton. I love Michael Keaton, and he was fine. I think my issue with that is probably Tim Burton. And I like a lot of Tim Burton movies, but then there's like a lot of Tim Burton movies where they're too Tim Burton-y for me. And those are the two Batman movies. I just played the Bat Dance song for my son when I was taking him back to school last weekend, because we were like kind of looking for some deep, funny cuts of very famous musicians like Stevie Wonder and stuff like that. And I'm like, hey, play Bat Dance. He's like, this is terrible. I'm like, that was a thing in 1989. It was a big deal, man. I remember how big of a deal that movie was, and it was like there was that weird, like, if you say like there was that like, because to me, like, I love the Donner Superman movies, like absolutely love those movies.
Ooh.
Superman 1 and 2, the originals, love. Like those to me, that's the original great Superman movie or a great superhero movie. No?
No, I don't agree.
Yeah, like love, absolutely love. I mean, I'll
Uh,
give you one thing about the Batman movies. The theme slaps. Danny Elfman kills the
Oh
theme.
yeah,
The Batman
yeah.
theme is phenomenal.
Mhm.
Um, like as much as the Donner Superman theme by um Williams, amazing. Like absolutely amazing, you know. But anyway, I love the Donner Superman movies, especially the first one and the second one. I like it where the three come back and they're in that little
The little flat mirror thing.
love it, love it,
Yeah.
love it. Those were actually it was actually one whole movie and they broke it into two.
Oh really?
Yeah, originally, yeah, Donner like yeah. I don't
no
think,
way.
huh?
No way. Did they really?
Yeah, yeah. It was like they were like the movie was super super long. I mean, dude, it's got Marlon Brando as Jor-El. You know,
Yeah.
that movie was epic, epic, and yeah, and they cut it. There's stories and everything about like how that all came about, and I don't think
Russell Crowe
Donner.
makes a better Jor-El, though. Come on.
Who?
Russell Crowe.
Oh, I will tell you, when that movie came out, that whole opening on Krypton is some of my absolute favorite stuff when it comes to Superman, if not my
Yeah.
favorite. That opening sequence in
Hmm.
that's Snyderverse. And then
Mhm.
after that, that movie loses me completely. Completely loses me after that. But man, that opening is
Mhm.
killer. Yeah.
You know, Justin, I recall a conversation with you where you had a bit of disdain for Superman.
I think Superman's an exceptionally boring character. He's got about four
Yeah.
or five good stories in him. If you tap him the right way, which the original Donner Superman is a great story. It's the great telling, and then in the sequel where he wants to get rid of his powers, that's your Superman story there. Because like
Mhm.
the difference in
Mhm.
like the DC universe and the Marvel universe is like in the DC universe, it's like all these crazy powerful people trying to figure out how to be human. And in the Marvel universe, it's mostly humans trying to figure out how to handle their powers. Like, you know,
Right.
that's the whole like with great power comes great responsibility with Spider-Man. With Superman, it's like, you know, how do I understand humanity better? And when, you know, like Wonder Woman, like they don't get powers, they are powerful coming in. And a few exceptions, of course, either side, but I mean, those are like the main big thematical differences I see in those universes. Um, but yeah, Superman. I mean, it's just like it's kind of tough to have a character where he can't be defeated by much, you know.
Yeah.
You have to be really creative. So I can't wait to see. I'm excited about the gun Superman coming out next year. That's like it's the most excited I've been about a Superman thing in forever. You
I'm
know?
not excited about that at all.
Oh,
What I'm excited
absolutely.
about is Peacemaker season 2.
Yeah, well that goes without saying. Yeah, that goes without saying. I can't wait for that too. That's man. And James Gunn was throwing some he was throwing some pretty good kind of Easter eggs out there on Twitter over the last couple days with
Oh,
Peacemaker.
really?
Yeah. And Chuck, that's the one you haven't watched yet, have you?
I've watched like the first few episodes of Peacemaker.
Really?
I
You haven't watched them?
I want to go back and watch. I really want to go back and watch the second Suicide Squad movie.
You don't have to. You don't have to. It's decent, but you know,
Yeah, I mean,
it
I I thought the first one was okay. Everybody hated it, and
it
then
sucks.
I was like, I didn't hate it.
It helps establish the Peacemaker character because of some of the events in the movie.
Yeah, there's a couple things that'll connect to it.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
what's
you
her
know,
name?
I just like to be a completist sometimes,
Yeah.
and I just haven't gotten a chance to go back to it. Are you guys sure the second one's good? Because there's like a shark dude.
Yeah, that's what makes it good.
Great.
Hey,
And it's
all
got
right, you guys.
you got
and
the
Will
otter
Smith.
guy or whatever that weasel guy thing,
Oh yeah.
which
Yeah,
I
he
think
was-
they're
he-
doing an animated show, and that's one of the characters in it.
Oh,
The weasel.
Yeah.
I thought he was. He also played a bit in what was that show? The Acolyte. Anyway, the
I'm glad he's getting work. I'm glad he's getting work.
Um, oh, you guys didn't like the Will Smith
No.
first one. You
It's
didn't.
terrible. It's terrible.
I mean, Jared Leto was terrible in it. I get it, but
It's not. It's okay. It's
Terrible.
it's average. The See, Justin, I think you have like this. Your scale is like the fucking Richter scale for movies, because you say again like not Peacemaker, but Suicide Squad 1 is terrible, but terrible is like way down under in my basement compared to that movie, because I've seen some bad fucking movies.
Okay, so worse movies. Okay, let's put it this way. I don't watch a lot of bad movies. So I'm very particular about the movies I watch. So when I don't like a movie that I spend 2 hours of my life on, I'm going to hate it. So, and I usually don't hate most movies. Suicide Squad is one of them that I absolutely despise. It is worse to me than Batman versus Superman and Justice League. And I dislike those heavily.
Yeah, it's not the first Suicide Squad is not as good as those at all. Not even close.
Yeah, so there you go. And I think the second Suicide Squad is better than all those movies.
But
while it's not amazing, it doesn't blow me away. It's pretty funny and pretty good.
Yeah, but
like I do not like it as much as the Guardian movies.
You have not seen the Emoji Movie, have you?
I have not seen the Emoji Movie.
No.
And I will never see the Emoji Movie for the exact same reason that I just said. I don't want to give 90 minutes of my life away to something like that.
We should make you watch that just for the podcast.
Oh, God.
Well, okay, but now I'm putting meaning behind it, and we can do that if that's where your heart is at.
Don't make us do that.
That is so. I had to take Kaylee to see that when she was like 8, and I saw that movie, and I was like, "Did you like that movie?" And she's like, "Yeah, it was really good." I said, and I told her, I don't know if I broke her heart or what. I said that might have been the worst movie I've ever seen in my life.
No,
you just stabbed an 8-year-old and twisted.
Hey, we've all been there. We've all done it, and we've all had it done to us.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, like we watched the original Airplane last week also.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but the kid they had no interest in watching it, so they left. So I watched it with my mother and father-in-law who hadn't seen it since 1977 or whenever it came out.
Mm-hmm.
That was interesting. Interesting. When it ended, I thought it was. I've seen the movie 100 times, so it's like I know the jokes before they're happening.
Yeah.
But seeing somebody who hadn't seen the movie in a long time and the reaction, yeah, like
Did
my father.
It not hold up for them, or?
My mother-in-law kind of was dozing off a little bit. My father-in-law said, "That's a movie." I think forgot what slapstick was, because like I said, when we talked about this like maybe 20 episodes ago, like where did all like comedy go, like the changes in comedy and where's slapstick and that type of thing, where I watch this and I can have an absolute appreciation for it, and I don't know, maybe that's why maybe I'm an anomaly.
All right.
Still, that is still one of my favorite movies.
It's brilliant.
So I watched a clip of it yesterday, and like it was all about movie mistakes that got left in, and I'm sure there's a ton in that movie, but one of them is the scene where he's in the door of the plane as it's going down the runway, and there's the lady who's trying to get on the plane still, and she's running down the runway.
No, she's talking to her boyfriend like the old school train. It's making fun of the train. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
So as she's running down the runway, she's bumping into these towers, these fake towers they built, and she's not supposed to bump into them in the script. She just happened to hit the first two, and then they reshot it and made her bump into all of them. There's supposed to be like steel towers,
right? But one of them
she
falls
one over.
The
third one she knocks over. Yeah,
all of them over eventually. So it's like, but it never phases her.
It's pretty funny. Yeah,
it's good stuff.
I know exactly what scene you're talking about. That's interesting. I didn't know that. Yeah, and I guarantee you, there's a ton of that in there, because like one of the things that I realized watching it, and maybe I'm wrong, and maybe somebody will correct me. The girl that's on the plane because she's got to get like the organ transplant.
Yep.
She dies. She dies. Like when they knock the thing out of her arm, the IV, which is just a simple IV, that doesn't make any sense. And then she actually dies, and this scene cuts, and they never show her again.
Yeah.
Like, so it's like I just assumed, like, I think she died, because I don't think they show her getting off the plane at the very end, and that's what I got to go back and watch and be like, I don't remember if she gets off the plane at the end, if they show her like going down the slide or whatever. I don't think
there's an ambulance. There's an ambulance at the very end. I think.
Yeah, but everybody was sick on the plane, so that would make sense.
True.
Yeah, but or the ambulance is there and like, okay, bring the girl down. Oh, she's dead.
Did you know that the couple having the argument about the red zone and the white zone, those are the actual voice actors who did the original recordings at LAX?
Oh, really?
Yeah, they hired the exact. They found them and they hired them to do the voices.
So those are the overhead people. Okay, so that is at LAX that they do. Film it there. 'Cause, like, man, like I'm watching it and I'm like, this could totally be O'Hare in the 70s. Also.
It could have been at any
really
airport.
Looks like O'Hare at the like certain parts. Like, man, that terminal looks.
They could have filmed it. They could have filmed it at a different airport, but it was definitely those voice actors.
That's awesome. That's really awesome. Yeah.
That's funny, man. And now I want to go back and actually look up, like, because don't they at the end when they get on the runway, like, people start jumping off the plane down the little ramp thing?
When it stops, they have the inflatable slide.
Yeah, I want to say, in my mind, I remember them throwing the little girl out. I
don't think so. I don't remember that.
Okay, yeah, now I got to go and check it out.
Oh man,
that's
when she's playing the guitar and she pulls the Ivy out. Oh my god, that's so funny.
Yeah. So,
gosh.
There's like, I think like to varying degrees, like that Top Secret. You talked about it, Dan. Kentucky Fried Movie. Kentucky Fried Movie to me is the funniest of all of them, like hands down. I think that's the funniest of all the Zucker movies. But then the Naked Gun movies, and I think that as the Naked Gun movies move on, I don't think they're as funny as the previous one, but they're still pretty good. They all have their moments. The first one, absolute classic though. But like that's it, like right there. And then I would say like to tack on, like I'm Gonna Get You Sucker by the Wayans kind of goes in that category. And then UHF. And then you've got some of the Mel Brooks movies that I would toss into this like very small group of American slapstick movies that kind of hit in like the 70s and 80s. You know, and it just like I don't know if like the Wayans kind of try to take it on with the scary movies and everything, and they got their moments, but it's never quite the same.
What about movie 43?
You're gonna have to. Okay, this sounds familiar. You have to refresh my memory on it.
Movie 43 it's like a bunch of sketches, and it's the one with Hugh Jackman where he's got the balls on his chin when he goes out on the blind date at dinner. It's a whole bunch of different skits. So
it's like Kentucky Fried Movie or one of those.
Yeah,
okay.
Jeremy Allen White plays the homeschooled kid, and Naomi Watts and Liev Schreiber are his parents, and they like simulate everything in his life. Like his mom is like his first kiss.
I absolutely remember this. I remember this.
I did not watch this.
Some of the skits are bad, but some of them are just so freaking.
Well, you just describe Saturday Night Live every Saturday.
Yeah, like one of them is like oh shoot, what's her name? Where they do like the iPhone, but it's like it's like the girl robot, right? Like, don't put your dick in the head. Everybody puts their dick in the head. It's so funny. There's so many, like the cast is amazing.
I'm remembering this. I want to say like it's around 2000.
Yeah, in like the whole
2013.
2013. Okay, no, time's a circle.
The premise is like Greg Kinnear and Dennis Quaid. Like one of them's like a writer and one of them's the director. I can't remember which is which. And the whole premise is he's pitching the movie, and each skit is like the movie being rewritten but he like takes them hostage to do it. Yeah.
Okay.
So they keep going back to it. But
I do remember this. I think I was like, I don't know, neck deep in like Small Children at that time.
All right. Yeah. All right. Assignment. Everybody go watch it, and then we'll review
the
movie.
I'll look into it.
All right. Movie 43. Writing it down.
Really good. Man, and it's very offensive too. So be prepared to be offended.
Oh, right. I don't. That's all right. So, okay, guys, this does bring a question up that I have to ask you guys. Is there a skit from a skit show? There's tons of skit shows. Is there a skit from a skit show that just lives in infamy in your brain, and no matter how many times you watch it, you laugh at the skit every time? And what would it be?
I got a lot of them.
I mean, probably Saturday Night Live. I mean, the Sean Connery Jeopardy.
That is a good one.
Most of mine are Kids in the Hall.
I would imagine.
Oh, you know what? There's one from Kids in the Hall. I think it's Kids in the Hall. The one about Doug, where he's like the rebellious teen, and
I might have just watched that one today when he plays Billy. No, it's Bobby, and he's
like, I'm out of here.
No, that's the state.
Oh, okay.
That's the state.
That's
the state is also amazing, but then there's also like Whitest Kids You Know. Like I will play Let's Wake Up the Neighbors music video constantly. It is hysterical. It is this rap song about let's wake up the neighbors, and they're like, yeah, it's 8:00 on a Saturday. And let's wake up the day. Yeah, it's a great skit. And there's also like the Lincoln assassination, Whitest Kids You Know, where Lincoln is completely trolling the audience and yelling at the people on the stage. And John Wilkes Booth is like, that guy is asking for it up there. And imagine where it goes. It's really funny, and they're watching. Look that one up. I could talk the sausages episode from Kids in the Hall, which is I know Truck's favorite.
I've never watched a whole lot of Kids in the Hall, so a lot of this I don't remember.
Yeah, Kids in the Hall was that was like my go-to sketch comedy. I love sketch comedy though.
Yeah, I love sketch comedy too.
Upright Citizens Brigade I used to watch all the time. The Kids in the Hall were my favorite though. But like there's the one where the big guy is beating up the little guy, and the little guy just will not stop, and he's just getting pummeled continuously at this bar. And it gets to the point where the guy's just like, he's not stopping, and you just grab him, kind of throw him like out. Like he literally picks him up and like throws him over the building, and he's like, all right, let's go home. And then you see the little guy come running around the corner. He's like, hey, I'm not done with you yet. And he starts running right at him as fast as he can. And the big guy just holds out his fists like this, and you just see him run right into his fist and knock himself out. But like I don't know, Kids in the Hall were like kind of ahead of their time with the way they directed things, and everything just like yeah, Kids in the Hall.
All right.
Okay, so I have one that, for whatever reason, it just hit my funny bone, I guess. But it's did you guys ever watch Key and Peele?
Oh yeah.
They do this skit where they're like on an airplane, and they're both made up completely ridiculously, and they're like waiting for terrorists to show up on the plane. They're like, I sure hope some terrorists come up on this airplane. Dude, for whatever reason, I laughed so hard at that. And my wife's like, I don't even know why you think it's funny. She's like, it's not even funny. And I'm like, I'm dying the whole time. I've watched it like a dozen times.
Oh my God.
I don't know why that cracks me up.
Well, have you been watching I Think You Should Be Leaving?
I have not.
Tim Robinson?
Oh my God, that stuff is amazing. I've seen a few of those skits. They're so funny. That is definitely a show to watch.
Yeah, there's like 3 or 4 of those where I could put in like Hall of Fame of funniest skits ever.
Reno 911 had some good ones too.
Oh, dude, Reno 911.
Well, they're from the state, most of them. About half of that group is from the state, and that's the same group that went on and then did the Wet Hot American Summer movies and also the shows on Netflix.
Oh, right.
So you see a lot of crossover there, yeah. And I kind of give them credit for like making Paul Rudd something.
That brings up another, like the Super Trooper guys, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. What
do they call themselves? It's like their production company, like the Shit. J something was the.
As soon
the
as you
guy.
say it, I'm gonna know it. Yeah, but they did Super Troopers and then they did Beer Fest.
Beer Fest. Oh,
I
Broken Lizard.
Broken
Right,
Lizard.
Broken
Yeah,
Lizard.
I actually like
Yeah.
Beer Fest a little bit better, and I think I'm in the minority there.
I like
There's
Beer
just
Fest. I thought Beer Fest was good.
I like them both. I like both movies, but Beer Fest, man, that just hit me perfect. Like I
Yeah.
saw it at the right time, and it was just really funny. But yeah, I don't even know what happened with Broken Lizard. Like, 'cause I think they
Well, they
did a
did the
sequel to Super Troopers,
too,
and it
right?
was like crowdfunded too, if I remember right. It was like when Kickstarter was first starting up, they got a crowdfunded version. I don't think it was really well received though.
Mm,
You know?
no, probably not. It looks like they only did. Oh, so the guys looks like the guys have been doing a bunch of directing since then. So I don't know.
Yeah.
So J Chandrasekhar, like the Indian dude, right?
Yeah.
He's like the big writer for that group. He's been off doing. I guess he wrote a bunch of the episodes or directed a bunch of Community.
Oh, did he? Well,
Oh,
there you
that's
go.
cool.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, good stuff, man.
All right. You know what? This went on way longer than I expected. Like what we were talking about today. And I think we're gonna have to shelve Diablo.
No, that's cool, man. I got a lot still to soak up.
Yeah.
Let's just talk about like 5 minutes of Diablo, right?
Definitely.
Yeah, I have not
I've
touched it.
Okay.
Fill me in. What's going on?
Okay, so my experience, I'm level 40 something right now, early 40s.
Wait,
And
you gotta rewind a little bit. Like Q check in on what's going on with Diablo, right? So why are you level 40? Back it up a few days. The expansion came out, right?
Oh yeah. I thought that was like Dan, take it. You're the Diablo master of the podcast. I'm gonna like hand this over to you.
New expansion came out, Vessels of Hatred, whole new area, and I'm pretty sure there's more content in the expansion right now with this season than in the entire base game. I mean,
No
there's
way.
so much more going on.
No way.
Way more. Yeah. So at least end game content, right? Probably not as many like individual side quests and stuff. And if you do those more than once, most people don't. Most people just you go through the main campaign and you do all the side quests once or twice maybe. But most people just skip those over, so I don't really count that. But end game content, we have like the map is almost as big as the original map.
It's huge. It's huge.
It is huge. The artwork is amazing. The storyline is really, really good for the campaign, so definitely worth taking your time and going through that, which I did not do. I just sped right through everything. But if that's important to you, the campaign is fantastic. The storyline gets continued. There is a raid, like a co-op PvE raid to do. There's all kinds of content. Like you don't have to sit there and do the same thing over and over again because now you have options on what you want to do once you hit max level. So that is awesome. The new class, Spiritborn, is fun, kind of like a monk.
I love the Spiritborn.
Yeah, in the main, like the most popular build on it is kind of like a combo of Rogue Twisted Blades build and Sorcerer Lightning Spear from last season. So anybody listening that plays a lot of Diablo know what I'm talking about. A lot of fun. The spirit, you get like these spirit companions that like you do your ultimate and they come down and swoop down and do something on the screen.
Oh,
it's really fucking cool. So what is your main spirit? Yeah, so that one's cool. It looks like Tony the Tiger comes and freaking jumps on and
does this like tornado spin and like yeah. And then I've got the add-on perk that sometimes it'll every 40% of the time it reactivates.
Mm-hmm.
And then sometimes you can stack it like 3 or 4 times in a row and just tear through everything. It's fun.
Yeah. So
when it doesn't though, it's kind of irritating, and it seems like on bosses that 40% doesn't really work so well.
Because it's 40% when you kill something.
Oh.
Yeah. So you got to kill something to trigger it. So like if you pull in, so like the strategy I use is I use the soar, where you jump, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you use an aspect of vortex. So you jump in the middle of a pile of guys, the vortex sucks them in, and then you boom hit it, and you're bound. Because you have a chance on every guy you kill. So if you have a big group of like 20 guys, it's bound to trigger.
Okay, well that makes a lot more sense then.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Yeah, so my experience so far, like I said, Dan, I saw you're already Paragon pointing it over 100, where
108, I think,
yeah,
tonight.
because the original level went to 50, now it goes up to 60, and then you start Paragoning. I'm at 40 right now.
Well, there's 100 before, but you stopped getting skills. You got the Paragon board after level.
Right.
So 50.25 was one Paragon point, and so on and so forth.
So when you get the Paragon board now, is it after 50 or 60?
It's after 60.
Okay.
But your level doesn't move up, and you go up to Paragon 301.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'll ever get that high, but we'll see. I'm probably about halfway through the campaign. I ended up doing a lot of other older quests. I've run into a lot of bugs though. Have you run into any bugs?
A lot of buttons, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like I'm like waiting for a patch because I've got two quests in all the old quests in the old zone. I don't have any issue with those. But if it's a new quest in the new zone, and I'm talking like side quests, I'm not talking main quest. Main quest seems to be working just fine. But I've got two that things aren't activating. I know what I'm supposed to do, and it's not letting me do it. Like talk to this person, and it's got the blue icon over it on the map. But then I go to and I can't click on the character. Like I've got two of those happening at the same time, so it's like, all right.
So I think what happens is, and I've been seeing a lot in the Discord, right, is as you progress the main quest, and then you have the season quest also, so you got like all these different things going on that change the map and what's available, what you can see. You probably are getting stuck at parts of quests that need it to actually be at a different part. Like you need to move the main quest forward, probably.
My guess is once the main quest is done, it'll fix itself, or a patch will come through and fix it. So I'm not really too concerned. I'm just going to power through it and see what happens. I love it. I really like the new environment. It's the jungle area from Diablo 2, which was like my least favorite area in Diablo 2. The one thing I'm kind of bummed about, and I hope I find somewhere, you have the little weasel guys that'll stab you, the little small guys, and they jump on each other's shoulders. The Fallen.
Yeah.
Do they get on their shoulders in this one ever? Do you see it and like shoot the blow darts at you?
I haven't noticed it yet, but
okay. Those guys are hysterical. So hopefully, I like blowguns just should make a comeback as far as I'm concerned. So anyway, I'm digging it. It's more Diablo. It's more clicky, but the Spiritborn is nice where it's more like the Monk where it's very active combat where you're constantly hitting a lot of buttons. It's not just clicking one button and going through. So I don't know. We'll talk more about it later. I'm hoping. Are you gonna play it, Chuck?
Yeah, I'll have to boot it up.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Yep. Having fun, man. It's good stuff.
Hack and slash.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
All
hey,
right.
I got one more thing. I'm starting the franchise this weekend. So the franchise is that show that just came out on HBO about the production crew that's making the superhero movie.
I've not heard of this.
A spoof, like a spoof of making Marvel, right, and DC movies. Yeah. So I've heard that it's really good.
I've heard Industry on HBO is also the show to be watching right now.
That is so. Industry, is that the one in like the finance people in the UK?
Yeah,
I think that. Yeah. Yep, very good. I watched season one.
Okay.
Very, very good.
Okay, because it sounds like that will scratch my Succession itch. So I don't know if you guys watch Succession.
I want to.
Yeah,
I haven't.
I mean, I didn't watch Succession. I don't think it's that kind. It's more Wall Street.
Well,
in the
no.
UK.
I'm talking where it's just like a bunch of like greedy psychopaths like stomping
But
over
it's
each
not
other for
like a
power.
family,
Oh yeah,
or
I know. Yeah, I got that. Yeah, but
yeah,
it's more in that realm of that type of high drama.
yeah. Mhm.
I love Succession, and so looking for something to kind of fill that.
Okay, I know what Secession is. I've watched like one or two episodes. Didn't really hit it for me at the start, but I'll probably go back and watch it at some
Yeah,
point.
it's pretty fantastic. I mean, that's basically like the Rupert Murdoch story. There's a lot of
Okay.
similarities in there, so yeah. All right then. Anything else, guys? All right.
No.
Well, let's throw the ultimate on this one and stick it 6 feet under, right? All right, guys.
All
Cue the
right.
music and say goodbye.
See you guys. See y'all later.
All right, everybody.
Peace.
Peace out.